All right. Got 2 minutes here. I was hoping Candy will get on before we start, but she'll be here though. Everybody all right? How was y'all day?
Great.
Great. How about you, Lonnie? Say it so everybody can
Good.
hear. Okay.
Good.
All right. All right. All right. Well, we have here Telvin Jeffrey, Master. Let me see how I'm saying this right. Master, look, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Master Coach. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, no, I'm a master business coach and I'm a certified coach practitioner.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No problem. It's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot to say.
Right. So I was talking to Lionel yesterday, and after we had finished everything, and I was just sharing him with you what you do, and he said, I really like his mindset.
Awesome. Well, likewise, I think I told you I like this, and he is super intelligent, super smart.
Yes. All right, here come Candy Squirrel. She's coming in. All right. How many people I need to let in? Okay, that's it. That's it. All right. Well, hi. How you doing?
Hello, Candy Squirrel.
Hi. Doing good.
Awesome. How you doing, Lego
Awesome.
B?
Good.
Awesome. Well, so first, before we get started today, I want to know from yesterday, each of you, what's your biggest takeaway from yesterday? Maybe what you already knew, and then what was a big surprise for you, like where you learned something that was helpful. What was that? And whoever wants to start.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize I was still on mute. Anyways, so what I most likely had for the takeaway was just learning about that I had to take more into account when I'm looking for, like, let's say the audience, instead of just focusing on just like, yeah, I can focus on, let's say, children, for example, but I also got to consider that there is other people that may want to view my content. And since if it's more directed more to children, I got to see if the content would be right enough where even parents would end up recommending it.
Makes sense. It's great.
So that's one of the big eye openers. And the one thing that I knew is definitely taking the step, like just looking around and see what could I do to slowly start getting, let's say, into my business. I knew that part.
Got it. Perfect. Lego B.
For the oil business, there I talked about I would make the price $1.50 or 50 cents. But yeah, if people actually
Hey, Lego B, you're going in and out, and I'm not sure if we're hearing you. So maybe can you say that again for us?
okay, let me test the mic. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, better.
Okay. What was my takeaway was my takeaway was if I make my own gas station, I would make it like $1 or 50 cents, but I probably wouldn't make a lot of money. But guess what? A lot of people would go to my gas station since it's only $1.50. And so, okay, let's just say thousands of people want to go to my gas station since it's a low price.
Low
And
price. Great.
yeah, but I would make a lot of money because it's actually a low price.
Okay.
That's what
Great.
I learned.
Okay. What did you already know?
What I already know.
Mm-hmm.
I already know I want to make a lot of money, but I would still get at least a profit.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Okay. Lionel, let us hear from you. Lionel went down the street. So one of the questions I'm going to have while he's working on that, one of the questions I have for you guys to think about is what is the business that you guys like? What company right now do you really respect? Like you just go, I like this company, or I like this business that I see somebody else doing. Doesn't have to be somebody that would compete with you, but just in general, based off of the services that you want and that you need, what would you say that business is that you actually really respect, like kind of resonates with you? Lego B, we'll go start with you, and then we'll go to Candy Swirl, and then we'll come, and hopefully Lionel will be ready.
Okay, what I respect about the gas company is the machine. Once you put like gas or whatever the car can do, it will the gas will make the engine start, and you need certain. And what I also like is parts start if you put gas in it.
And what's the name of the company?
I haven't really thought of a name of.
Oh, no. I'm
company.
asking you what other companies that exist right now do you respect, you like, resonate with you, even if it's a product? You go, I think it's a good company. They make a good product. I really like it. Who is that? Lego?
Yeah.
You think Lego is?
Yeah, Lego is.
Yeah, Lego
is a good company.
Yeah. And what do you like about Lego?
You can actually build pretty much anything that comes to your mind or thoughts. But I do have a Lego set that I haven't built yet, which is a Thor's hammer.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And is that Lego kind of tied to, that's in your name? Is that tied to the Lego brand or no?
Actually, yes.
Okay, got it. Did you play with Legos a lot when you were a kid, when you were younger?
Yeah, I did play Legos when I was younger.
And what did you build? What did you build when you were a kid, typically?
I don't really remember, but I did remember I built some type of ant, but that was part of a set.
You built what? I'm sorry, sir.
An ant.
An ant? Like a bug?
Yeah, but
okay.
I think I must have did something to it, which I can't, because its parts are everywhere, which I don't know where it is.
Okay,
now.
I get it. I understand. Okay, Candy Swirl.
Yes.
What's your company or product?
Would this be on what I'm
In general, it can be a company
to...
you respect, you like, or maybe it is even another channel that you watch on YouTube that you go, oh man, they're doing a good job. I like the content.
Honestly, it really just ends up depending on what I'm looking at. So, like, to be honest, on my YouTube channel, I don't exactly really have a lot of people not like I don't subscribe to a lot of people, which maybe I should, so I can keep track. But if I did have to bring up a company, even though this may not be relating to like a TV series, but
course.
I'm gonna possibly bring up maybe a video, like two video game companies, which would have to be Nintendo and Sega. I really do appreciate that they take the time to create their video games and even with animation as well. And actually, speaking on animation too, I do can able to say like Disney and Pixar, how they take their time to put their animations out is definitely something that gets me inspired.
Okay, awesome. Got it. Linnell, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, good. Okay. So our question was, what did you learn yesterday? What was the most important thing you learned yesterday?
What was the most important thing I learned yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing I learned yesterday is that my, I, I think the most important thing I learned today was that there was like, we were talking about how many people there is in the world, how much money there is. That money is pretty like it's pretty easy to get. You just
Mm-hmm.
gotta put in the work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned. Like it's not that hard to get money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's hard, but it's not. It's pretty it's like pretty easy to get if you work really hard. Because there's not that many people in the world. That
Right.
was a really good one to do. I like that.
Got it. And so that makes sense. And what is it that we talked about that you already know, that you already knew?
I think what we talked about that we already knew.
Yeah, that you already knew.
Probably like when we're talking about like like the business things, like the shops and stuff. I know a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. So you already kind of knew some of that. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I already knew a little bit about that.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So, all right. So let's talk about, and again, I told you I would send this. There's 10 questions that I'm using as a proxy for this little short course. And what I would recommend, I will send them I'll send these questions to Sister Odiela today, and I'll make sure that you guys all you get that so you can use this. So the next thing that I want to talk about today is I want to talk about actually putting together a business plan. Like how many of you actually have thought about putting together a business plan?
So far, not really with me. I'm just doing with, let's say, with my channel, just more like just not really looking for like views or anything. It's just putting it out there for fun and see what happens.
For me, I don't really have anything planned for a business yet.
Okay.
But right now, I'm just enjoying being. I can't say being a child because anyone can start a business at a certain age. Well, not certain age, any age. So.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna challenge you guys to do. I asked you yesterday, I told you that you got to think about what problems you want to solve. So when I send this to Sister Odiela, I want you guys to write out what what problem you're going to be solving in your business. I want you to come up, answer these questions. I want you to talk about who your target market is. I want you to be able to talk about how you're going to differentiate yourselves from a competitor. And I want you to write it down. And then I want you to give that to Sister Odiela and she give it back to me. And then I'm going to give you guys more ideas. And she can determine the timeline and how much time she's going to give you to do that. But to me, if you don't write it down, it really isn't important. And otherwise, be honest with you, you're just playing. And you guys are learning how to be self-existent. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you, I'm a guy who believes in being serious about what I'm doing. But I also think there's a time when you kind of go, you go back and say, no, what does scripture tell me about this, about what I'm doing? And one of the scriptures that I want you guys to think about is Proverbs 16:3. Okay. I'm going to tell you what it says. It says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Okay. I'm going to say that to you one more time. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Now, part of committing your plan, committing whatever you do to the Lord, is that you actually have a plan, right? Because that's part of that is he'll establish the plan. A lot of times, and I see this as adults, grown people, will say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, but they actually have no plan. What they have is an idea, and ideas get eaten every morning for breakfast. Okay. Plans, not the same. And if you can commit it to the Lord, then you have a partner, but he cannot partner with nothing. He don't partner with ideas, but he can partner with you with a plan. And what I'm asking you to do today is make it that serious. You guys, let me say this to you. There are kids who are 15, 16, 17. I'm back up. I know a 14-year-old who sells baseball cards. He buys them online, goes to these different places. He buys them, was using his allowance to do that. And now he makes $100,000 a year trading baseball cards. And his parents didn't give him the money. He's 14. His dad used to work with me. I'm telling you, if you have a plan and you put it together, because you're all very smart. I listened to you guys yesterday. But get it out of your head and get it to a piece of paper and look at it and share it with somebody else that you trust. Now, don't share it with everybody, but share it with somebody else you trust, okay? And get somebody else to hold you accountable for doing this. There is no person, no business person who can grow a business without help. Help does not mean money. Help means you do a part and I do a part. And yes, you will get bad partners. That's fine. And when you're looking at how you might go forward, one of the questions that I have that I put out here for you guys, and it's number 4, it's what resources do I need to start and run my business? Money, equipment, technology, and people. The main part is people. You need help. Everybody has to have help. So I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, from a guy who's done multiple businesses, do not try to go on your own alone. Get partners, get somebody else. But first have your plan about what you want, then you go talk to them. Okay. And then you figure out what they bring to the table and what you bring to the table. You will do far better with partners. Now, so you need money. Friends got money. $2. If we got both of us got $1 and we put it together, being funny, $2, we got a better chance. Okay. Somebody might be the creative person, Candy Swirl, but another person might actually be the person who's willing to go out and they're really analytical and they want to look at all the competition and put together a chart of what the competition is doing and come to you with some ideas, right? And then y'all brainstorm and talk about it. But all of these resource needs you have, don't try to take the resources on by yourself. It is a sure way to be frustrated and fail. Now, there are people who are going to tell you, now, it's old guys like me. And, some of y'all parents are younger than me probably. But here's the thing. We have a generation of people who are older who says, don't trust nobody. Y'all keep it tight because, people will get you. Yeah, but you're getting yourself. Working by yourself. Okay? This is not a good plan. Anybody who's successful actually is working with other people. I have business partners on things that I go, we're going to go on this thing together. Your money stay where your money is and my money stay where this is. But we go together on the project and I put in my half and you put in your half. And when we get a check, we split it. So we don't have to have a company together to do business together. I got my own LLC, they got their own LLC, but we go to work on projects together. Again, I tell people all this time, and again, I live in a world where, I cross over to, different groups. But I'm telling you, I don't know an organization. I don't know a musician. I don't know an entertainer who isn't investing their money with partners. Because if I had $5, right, and each of y'all have $5, right? Now we got 20. Our $20 going towards an investment and multiplying it 10% is better than my $5. Do the math, right? It multiplies. Let me see. When I get crazy, I'm sticking on this because I know, because this is one of my pet peeves. I hear people who say, you can't trust people and all this stuff. I go, I don't know if that's the case. Yes, could you get burnt? But here's the thing. There is an immutable law of multiplication. You've been learning that since you've been in school. Multiplication, don't lie. That's a principle that will break you before you break it. Right? And so for me, yeah, I'm going to be careful about the partners. I'm going to pray about the partners. Y'all are learning how to be self-existent. You're learning how to walk as an Elohim. You have the Spirit of God that will tell you, run from Mary, run to Freddie. Okay? Trust it. Trust the Holy Spirit in you. It will tell you he will tell you what to do. But, and I'm going to end with this. I've had people tell me, the Lord isn't speaking to me. I go, the Lord is speaking to you because you ain't listening. The Lord isn't speaking to you because you got no Bible in you. You got no word. Okay. You got not just word. You're not going to any classes on business. You're not watching any YouTubes on business ideas and what other people are doing. So the Spirit can't speak to you because he ain't got nothing to speak to you with. Okay. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that issue. Y'all heard me. As my grandmother used to say, a word to wise people is sufficient and nothing else needs to be added to it. Okay. Now I'm done being an old man fussing at y'all, but I just want I just really want you to think about that, because I have so many of my friends who are just like, well, I don't know why it's not working. Because you're by yourself, you're nut. Okay. All right. They're gonna kick me off of this group. I'm the crazy minister. Okay. I just say it. I'm saying what they want, what they don't want to say. They scared to say. I'm gonna say it. You're crazy, you're a nut. Okay. You need to go and get somebody to help you. Okay. Now, the next question is, what legal and regulatory requirements do I need to comply with? You know, I'm all about telling people, make it legal. If you got to save up some money so that you can get an LLC, so that you don't have any tax problems later, you don't have anybody suing you later because you didn't have a proper setup. And so that's not for this class, but the question is definitely there, but definitely making sure that you know what does it take to do business legally and follow all the regulatory requirements for your particular area that you live in. That's why I was saying to people, that's why I was saying, was we're talking about the candy business. Don't go sell candy at school because you ain't got no license to sell candy at school. Okay. And, you know, well, I'm gonna leave that there. Number 6, how will I measure success? What I believe that, and this is the reason why I want you to write this stuff down, and I'm going to give you, again, the template to do that, so you can turn it in to Sister Odiela and we can help you. But I believe you got to set specific, measurable goals. How many of you have heard of SMART goals before? Have you guys heard of SMART goals? No. So a SMART goal is when it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, right? It is something that you can repeat, okay? And you can test it out. And let me tell you why I think it's important. Like for me, I want to go and say, all right, if I'm doing this thing each week, and I'm gonna use Lionel's as an example. Each week, I want to have and I don't know what your number are, Lionel, so I don't want to insult you, but each week I want to do $100 a week. Okay. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to give myself to 4 weeks to consistently hit $100 a week. Because then I know what my hustle is, right? I know how much time I got to put into this, right? Okay. Lionel, you listening to me, man? You got me out here talking. Candy Swirl. I want to actually grow my audience by 20 people a week.
Hello?
Hey, Linnell, did you hear what I said?
Yes, no. Can you repeat
No.
yourself?
I said if you had what's on the phone already, I would have had given you a big check. No, but you weren't paying attention, so you can't hear it now. I'm done. The money's over. Linnell, what I was saying is that I want everybody to get, when you do this, I want you to create SMART goals for you. What is something that's specific, something that's measurable. So that means, like, I'm going to say to myself every week, and I don't know your number, but I really want to be able to have 100. I want to be able to do $100 a week. And then when I reach $100 a week, I want to be able to do $200 a week. But I'm going to give myself a goal of a month to get to 100. I'm going to give myself 2 months to get to 200. And I'm going to give myself 6 months to do $500 a week. When I know that number, I'm trying to get to 100. I know I'm trying to get to 200. I know I'm trying to get to 500. Then I'm going to create a plan that says, this is how I'm going to get there. This is how you turn a business that's doing dollars into hundreds of thousands into millions, by being that relentless about the number. I have a weekly goal, and each month I'm trying to raise that goal. I'm looking for the activities that I must do to do that. So that might mean that sometimes I'm not going to go and watch TV or whatever, because you know what, I'm on my grind to hit $100 a week. And I'm gonna figure out how to do that. And I got to hit up $500. That may mean I'm not gonna be, when I'm at school, I'm gonna be all about business at school and not adding extra drama to my life, so I ain't distracted. So when I get home, right, I ain't got nobody driving me crazy about what I did at school or didn't do at school, so I can hit my number, because everything here is about that number. And you're going to see that I'm going to tell you in question number 7 is, what's your long-term goal and vision for this business? You know, what does it look like in the next 5 years, in 10 years? What's it next in the next 20 years? To see, if you guys right now do what I'm telling you, it's going to be hard for you guys not to have businesses that do 6 figures. I'm talking about $100,000. I don't care what your age is. If the 14-year-old can sell baseball cards and do $100,000 a year from his cell phone, this ain't an issue for you. I promise you, it's not an issue. But you got to have a plan, and you gotta not be and by the way, if you, and I'm telling you this, if you sloppy in one area of your life, you're gonna be sloppy in another area. It's not hard. So here's the thing: in our business, we know this: people who don't pay their bills, they sloppy, right? I'm just being honest. The people who don't pay their bills consistently, we all run into problems with our bills, right? What I'm saying is, consistently, they don't take care of stuff. Let me tell you what we realize: they ain't taking care of stuff in other areas either. It ain't that they're bad people; they just procrastinating, not focused. Okay. And so we go, okay, it's saying if it's happening over here, it really is kind of happening over here, because we as humans, we produce after our own kind. Whatever our brain is producing, we just produce more of it. It's not that easy to be all over here. You know, I'm really good over here. So this is what I say: don't be sloppy at school, be an ace at school, and you'll be shocked how be an ace at home, be ace with your brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. Be an ace with your friends, because I'm telling you, that behavior will make you sharp as a business person. And sometimes people think they can cheat over here and win over here. It don't work like that. It'll all eventually catches up with you. And trust me, as somebody who had to get it proven to me. My grandmother used to tell me I was hard-headed, and I had to find out for myself. And she right. I had to find out a whole lot of hard lessons for myself that cost me money. It didn't cost her $1, but it cost me money, because I didn't have it all going on over, I wasn't consistent over here, but over here I was nailing it, right, for a short period of time. And then when I realized that I wasn't running right over here, what ended up happening is I realized that I was hurting myself over here with the money. And then when I started getting that together, some of this over here just became a lot easier, because here's the thing: my spirit knew that I was kind of jacked up, that I won't be in 100. Okay, my spirit knew I wasn't being 100, and I was just actually only declining at my own proficiency So what I'm going to challenge you to do is, okay, now that I got a written plan, I got a goal. I'm trying to do what I'm going to do this week, what I'm going to do next 6 months, what I'm going to do in a year, what I'm going to do in 5 years. Does that make sense? And I'm going to give you the template to do that. But what you're going to have to do is, some of you guys are going to have to get more realistic about the business you're starting. Okay, you got to get real realistic about the business that you are starting, because maybe your business idea is a little lofty now, and that's good, because maybe that's what it looks like in 5 years. Maybe that's what in 10 years. So Lego B, my question for you is, you got to think about what can you do with the money you have right now, right, to get to where you're at. For example, I was thinking about you last night at this call. I'm like, okay, you're talking about gasoline. I'm going to challenge you to think about alternative fuels. Okay. And by the way, you could be doing just like you could be doing education around and do a YouTube channel about alternative fuels and about different fuel sources, because you could be educating kids that are your age about the future. And that's what's gonna, that's
yeah.
really, and the reason that these fuels cost so much is because there's so many middlemen.
Yeah.
But you can help fix that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got here so we can bring this on home for you. So the next question I have for you guys, and these things to be thinking about, is how will you manage your time and balance school and whatever the obligations you have? You might be in different activities. How are you going to balance that? That's a thought you need to do, because you don't want to work on a business that you're not being honest with yourself about where else is that going to rob time. And that, when you start thinking about that, it really gets back to the issue. It really gets back to the issue of, okay, I still want to do this business. I can't be school and what you got to do, right? And get educated, you got to do. But school and these other activities are important. But if you want to have it, all of those, then again, that's why you got to ask it, do I have somebody else to partner with? So that you can do that, okay? And then the number 9 is, how are you going to handle setbacks and failures? Like, how will you handle, because inevitably they will come. Every business has that, okay? Every business. Listen, I'm a kid, right? I'm a little kid, and I got my little records business, okay? Telvin's Records, and I got my magazines, and I'm out here, and it snows. It never snows in Virginia where I grew up, and it snows, and everything shuts down for a week. Well, I'm used to getting my money every week so I can have money to spend. Well, I'm getting depressed because I'm like, okay, I can't go to all these, I can't walk the whole neighborhood and all this place and all the snow, because I had no snow boots. Okay. And that particular situation, all right, that literally could have been a thing where I just kind of stopped doing it, because I ran into a brick wall. Okay. I ran into times where I couldn't find enough product. I couldn't find enough magazines. Okay. I couldn't find enough records. I ran into time when listen, people ain't had no money. They was broke as a church house mouse. Okay. 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 They have no money, and they couldn't give me a quarter. And I mean, it's realistic. Okay. They couldn't give me a quarter. Again, all of these things were setbacks in ways I could be like, okay, this is hard. All I'm challenging you to do is to think about, what will you do? Plan for setbacks, plan for derailments, plan for the times where you're going to have school projects, plan for the time when something just happens, we run into a season. And let me just say this, every business, even the big businesses that you drive by every day, McDonald's, the grocery store, guess what? All of them have times of plenty, and all of them have times of lack and famine. And the Bible tells us that we store up when it's all going well. So when it's time, so that when famine comes. Now this is the Bible telling you this. We would think, well, wait a minute, the Bible is just going to tell you about all of the good times that's coming, or how much the Lord just going to bless you. Well, sometimes he's blessing you ahead of time. And so I'm going to challenge you in this, and part of the planning for the setback is knowing that they're coming. I'm going to plan for the setback, because guess what's going to happen? In that, when it happens, let me say it another way. You can't spend all your seed. You can't eat up all your seed. You got to spend a little. You got to save a little. You got to invest in new ideas, test things. You can't be afraid to fail, but you do have to plan for the setbacks. And I just tell people, when you first start making money, yeah, you need to go enjoy it. Go buy yourself something nice, but then take a little something back, because there'll be people who tell you don't spend nothing. And I say, no, 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 no. I need to, I tell entrepreneurs this all the time, you need to actually go spend a little of that money so you feel it. You feel how good it is to spend your own money that you made and worked hard for. And you need to have whatever that nice thing is that you want. Don't be so holy that you ain't trying to buy it, that you be like, well, no, the Lord don't want me to do that. He want me to give it all away. Okay, well, that's just nonsense. Nonsense, okay? But spend some of that money, but then save some, because you don't know when the next opportunity is going to show up that you can invest in, or you be like, oh, this is cool. I can spend this and I can make some extra money. Or like the thing I said earlier, you run into a time of a setback where this business gets slow and you do not know. And I don't care if you have an internet business, a business where you're walking door to door like I did, selling records, it's all going to come. I work with a lot of technology companies. And by the way, in the last year, all these technology companies are doing really bad. And a lot of these people were making millions, and they're not, right? And they didn't turn stupid overnight. It's just cycles. The world has cycles, okay? All right, now, I'm going to stop right there and see if you guys got any questions, because I gave you a lot. And then we got.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
No questions here.
Lonell, I hear from you. Last one. Question for I would challenge you guys on. You got to ask yourself, when you put this, when you answer the questions from 1 to 9, when you answer the questions from 1 to 9, the 10th question is, am I passionate about this business? And are you truly passionate about the business and the problem that you're solving? Are you passionate about the business and the problem that you're solving? You're not going to know that right off the bat, but what I am asking you guys to do is, from 1 to 10, I'm asking you to, when you finish filling this out, I want you to just say, look, all right, after I put this off, is this really what I really want to do? Am I really passionate about this? Can I really put my energy in this? And let me tell you why. There are things that you are going to be, that you see the problem, and you might want to be involved in, but you don't want to make a job out of it. It's stuff you might want to do part-time. It could be a hobby, right? It's not the place where you really want to serve. Okay. And so I challenge you on that, because I've seen people, and I'm gonna give you a great example. I have a friend who she's a great baker. She knows how to make cupcakes and cookies and cakes that, seriously, I say she will, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say this is a saying we used to say. It's so good, make you want to smack your mom. Okay. Now don't smack your mom, okay? But it was so good, make you want to smack your mom. Okay. Okay.
Maybe don't phrase it like that.
I'm telling you, that's what we would say. Ooh, this is so good, makes you want to smack your mom. All right. So look, but she went out and started this business, and she got a bunch of orders, and people loved it. But she started to hate baking. Now, see, that's where it went wrong, because what she was passionate about was baking, but she wasn't passionate about the business of baking. And there's a difference. So that's why I say, is it something are you passionate about solving that problem, or are you passionate about the product? Because you don't want, I mean, listen, life in itself has many ups and downs, and it has a few things that are joyful. Okay. You don't want to take your joyful thing and make it a hard thing. But there's sometimes people, right? Right? And then some people like that. They just want to do this. And so I can tell you of that baking scenario. That's very, very real. I've seen people do that with other things. And so some things should be a hobby, and some things can be a business, a hobby that you actually want to do for business. Okay. I'm going to challenge you with one last thing. I'd love for you to go to YouTube and Google ideas for teen businesses. Some of you are not teens, but you know what I'm saying. 2023. They do lists. They do great content that's out there on that. And my challenge for you is, fill out this document that I'm sending to Sister Odiela. But look at what other people are doing. It might spark you into some other things to do that you hadn't even considered, that you might be passionate about, that you could do, that may be concentric to or connected to what the idea that you have. And here's a good thing. If somebody else is already doing it, copy them. My daughter is 19, and we used to watch, I don't know if they still have this, if you guys would, but they had this fox, his name was Dora Explorer, was called Swiper. And so Candace Roy, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer. And the fox would say Swiper. They would say Swiper because he would come by and steal stuff, right? He'd swipe it. Well, I'm going to tell you, go online to YouTube and swipe it. Swipe it. Okay? There is no idea that actually is original to anybody. The idea, the thing here is, how do you make it uniquely your own? You just don't want to copy people, because that's lazy and ain't going to work. But you can put your unique own thing on that idea, but it might spark something in you. And a good business person actually is studying business, not just the business they're in. They're studying business. And how do you study business? You know what other people are doing and they're working on. If you don't understand business that way, you ain't in business. You're not an entrepreneur. You're a hobbyist who's actually playing with your money and time. I'm going to stop there. I don't want to give you anything else because you got homework to do. But I will stop. I'm going to ask if you guys have any questions, and then I'm going to pray for your ideas. I'm going to pray for your business that you're about to have, and for you in general, and we'll call it a night.
Well, so far I have no questions.
Okay,
Yeah, no questions.
got it. Okay, nothing for Lionel either. Well, let me pray for you guys.
I now said no questions too.
Got it. Let me pray for you guys. Thank you, Father, for these bright minds. Thank you for the skill and the intelligence that you have given them, and that has been nurtured through the years and through this moment, that they have been brought to this earth for such a time as this. I pray that the ideas, the visions that they have, that you would help them crystallize it even more. And I prophesy that over the next 90 days, that these ideas will become firm and crystallized. I pray now that those who are their helpers in these endeavors, I pray that they would come. I call people from the east, west, north, and south. I call forth resources and ideas, things that they do not even imagine are possible right now, that you would show yourself strong on their behalf. I speak as Yeshua. I call forth those resources. I call forth the people that they would show up and that you would give them the discernment to know who is for them and who is not for them, who is good and who is not. I pray that they actually have peace as they move forward in this. And I pray, Lord God, that we would look years ahead and we will see this night as a birthing moment for the greatness that is in them, and that they would now have the heart to pray for the people that they want to help problem solve, that you would give them the burden to pray, to command situations around those people, and to take authority that and anything. I pray over them, Jeremiah 29:11, the thoughts that you have towards them are not of evil, but not of calamity, but of good, an expected future, and a hope. I pray it over them. I pray that you would give them favor with men because they already have favor with you. And let none of my words return void, because that is not who you are and how we work. And so I thank you now. In the name of Yeshua the Christ, I speak and say, so be it, with expectation. Amen.
So
Amen.
be it.
Amen.
So be it.
So be it.
Sister Odiela, I'm turning back
Um,
over to you.
No, that's it. If there's nobody have anything else, I'll be looking for that paper that you have, and that's what we're gonna be working on.
Okay. All right. You guys have a good night.
You
too.
All
too.
right. You
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank you, Telvin.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.